All right, folks, one more video before I start making dinner. Because I know you just love hearing the shit that comes out of my mouth. So I was going over some stuff, and I keep seeing this crap about proof against Stephen Avery. And here's the thing, folks. Nancy Grace and Ken Kratz did a segment 9, basically 9 facts that prove Stephen Avery is guilty. And I'm going to go through that list and refute this shit. Number one, I don't know why everybody keeps coming back to the whole cat incident, but that's not exactly proof of shit. It wasn't even admitted at trial. It wasn't even stated at trial because it doesn't prove anything. Why the fuck do we keep coming back to the cat? Why? Anybody? Kratz? Why the fuck do you keep coming back to the fucking cat? Number two, they say that he targeted Teresa, and they cite that he called her job and made sure to ask for her specifically. Here's actually what happened. He called and said, send the same girl as the last time, and then he gave a different name. The name he gave was his sister's name, Barb Janda. And the reason he gave her name was because it was her fucking car that was being sold. And I'm sorry, but if you're obsessed with somebody enough that you're going to fucking kill them, you would know their name. He would have said, send Teresa. He didn't. He said, send the same girl that you sent last time. Then they state that her phone, camera, and PDA were in the burn barrel 20 feet from Avery's door. Well, you do realize that there are other Averys on the fucking property, don't you? It's a compound of Averys. And quite frankly, Scott Taddock and Bobby Dassey both had the same access to that burn barrel that Stephen Avery did. Number 4 is Ken Kratz says that he told inmates of his intent to build a torture chamber for when he got out of prison. Yeah, because he just spent 18 years in jail for a crime he didn't fucking commit, and he's telling inmates of his intent to harm women while he's in jail. Come on. I mean, use your fucking head, people. I know it's difficult for the fucking Manitowoc County Sheriff's Department and Nancy Grace. Don't even get me started on that girl. That head is mostly air. Then they cited that the bones were intertwined with the steel belts from the tires. But even the expert that they called in stated that that just as easily could have been from the bones being thrown into the fire pit. And that he honestly couldn't say which scenario occurred because he couldn't tell. Folks, if you're going to pull out some of the bones with a pail to go and throw them in a quarry, wouldn't you move the steel fucking belt so therefore the bones would no longer be intertwined with the damn things? Use your head. That's the lump that's 3 feet above your ass. Number 6, they love to say that a tooth of Teresa's and a rivet from her jeans was in the fire pit along with the tools that Avery used to cut up her body. So only Teresa Halbach had jeans with rivets? Planted evidence, folks. Planted fucking evidence. The rivet probably came at the same time that the other bones were thrown into the goddamn pit. As for the tools, did Avery ever own those tools? Did anybody see him using them? The 3 calls from Avery is number 7. They always use this shit. For fuck's sake, Teresa Halbach was running late that day. At least 2 of those calls can be explained away because she called and left a voice message for Stephen Avery saying, on the day of the murder, saying, is 2 o'clock good for you? So at least one of those calls is explained right there. He was calling her back to confirm. Then she was running late that day, and the other 2 calls can easily be explained to see if she was still coming or what was going on. Number 8 is the DNA on the hood latch of Stephen Avery's and that it came from sweat. Folks, do you know what sweat is made out of? It's made out of water and electrolytes. It does not have any cells. DNA comes from cells. And it's hard to tell when DNA comes from sweat or not. Maybe from skin cells, but come on, folks. And if They can definitively say that the DNA on the hood latch came from sweat. Where's Teresa Halbach's sweat DNA from the mattress? Because I'm sorry, but you tie my ass down and rape me repeatedly for a few hours, I'll be sweating all over that bitch. And number 9 is the bullet. Now, the examiner that found the DNA on the bullet couldn't even get an amplified DNA sample from the bullet, number 1. Number 2, she couldn't even produce a non-contaminated sample. I'm sorry, but I don't buy her explanation. And the lab where this created had a disciplinary action the same day as the Teresa Halbach case was being tested, whereby an employee was fired for being loaded on the job. He was drunk. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm not placing my faith in a lab where the head person can't manage to produce a non-contaminated sample and cannot amplify the DNA sequence enough to get a viable DNA sample. And she can't deal with her employees enough that they aren't fucking loaded while at work. Come on, folks. Not to mention the bullet was smashed to shit. Okay? The rifling, there is no way that you're going to be able to get a match on the rifling. This whole thing is just stupid. And it is circumstantial at best. And that's why Ken Kratz tried this case in the media before he even took it to court, is because he already knew that he had nothing but a circumstantial case. So he decided to contaminate the jury pool. And the fact that judge didn't allow a change of venue outside of Calumet County is bullshit. And it needs to be termed a mistrial. And they need to try him again. Get them in front of a jury that hasn't heard every fucking piece of evidence from this bitch. And then if you convict them, we'll go quietly into that good night. Until then, I will stand by what I'm saying. And that is that Manitowoc County framed Stephen Avery. They coerced a confession out of Brandon Dassey. And they planted evidence. That's my video, folks. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. And we'll see you next time. Thank you for watching.